And this is one of the biggest gripes that I have had with the vegan community from day dot. There is absolutely no consideration for white privilege and just how toxic it can be in those spaces. The most pathetic part is when he tries to mansplain to me about periods. As I said before, vegan might work for some people, and if you happen to be one of those people, carry on, keep doing you. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very highly requested one from you guys. It's why I am no longer vegan, and I'm going to be going into detail about everything that's happened. This is a bit of a trending video at the moment. You've probably noticed that across YouTube and across social media, there are so many people saying that they're not vegan anymore. And yeah, I'm just going to be sharing my perspective and my experience with it all. Now, before we move on, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Come and join our little internet family over here on YouTube. So with this story, I'm going to try and keep it really short and really to the point. And I'm going to focus more on the end part of it, when I stopped being vegan and the kind of response that I got from different people. And I'm going to be breaking down some of the comments that I got on my Instagram that were quite nasty. So in 2015, I decided to go vegetarian, and within about a month of making that change, I noticed a lot of different health benefits. I was less bloated, my digestion was better, I lost a little bit of weight, and in general, I was less lethargic. And these were all things that I was trying to manage for years beforehand. Towards the end of 2015, I transitioned to a 100% vegan, plant-based diet, so no animal products whatsoever. And with that, I noticed even more health benefits. So my skin got a lot clearer, and the biggest thing is that my periods were completely pain-free. Cut a long story short, the feelings that I had of being super healthy, having great skin, and having all the energy in the world lasted about 2.5 years, and in 2018 it all started to go a little bit downhill. It was last year in 2018 around summertime that I started to really notice some not so great things happening to my body. So I was constantly lethargic. That was one of the biggest things. I could not function off just 6 or 8 hours sleep, which is what I've been used to for my entire life. I had to have 10 or 12 hours sleep, and even with that, I was not okay. I would still wake up absolutely exhausted. My mind was like a sieve. I wouldn't even remember what I'd eaten for lunch the day before, even that day. I couldn't retain any information. I had major brain fog. Oh my God. Like I couldn't think. I didn't have any clarity in my mind, and I just wasn't myself. I was upset all the time. I was moody. I was very irritable. My anxiety was through the roof. My anxiety was through the flipping roof. And yeah, I just was not myself at all. And this is when I thought, okay, maybe I need to start supplementing with something. So I tried herbs. I tried to supplement my diet with different herbs. And it did work, kind of. I went from feeling like 40% of myself to 60% of myself, which is a big improvement. But I wanted to feel like 100% of myself again. I wanted to just have me back. But I thought, okay, let me try this properly. Let me see how it goes for 3 to 6 months, because I wanted to give it a chance. I didn't want to just try something for a month and write it off completely. I was doing juices, I was doing smoothies, I was doing organic, fresh, local produce. I was doing all of it with the herbs as well. And after 3 to 6 months, I did not notice a difference. Parallel to that, my periods were getting progressively worse. And in February this year, so February 2019, there was a specific period that I had, and I was literally curled up on my bathroom floor. I'll never forget this. I was curled up in pain on my bathroom floor. I could not get up because the pain was that bad. And I literally dragged myself to my bed because I was like, I just need a nap. And before I went to sleep, I had like a stern word with myself, and I was just like, listen, you need to wake up and understand that this is not normal. You need to not be feeling like this. Your period should not be debilitating to the point where you're curled up on your bathroom floor feeling like your guts are about to spill out. That's not right. So I had like a really serious talk about myself, with myself, and I made the decision that I'm gonna change something. Before this happened to me, I had met up with my very good friend Tish Wonders. You guys probably know her. She's on YouTube. Check her out. She's got an amazing YouTube channel with lots of different recipes. And Tish and I were actually talking about Sorry if you can hear the rain, by the way. It's really rainy. Tish and I were talking about plant-based diets and how we had been feeling, and essentially Tish planted the seed that maybe a plant-based diet isn't for everyone, because she shared a similar experience to me. She just wasn't feeling herself, and she told me how she was transitioning to introducing more animal products into her diet. So she kind of planted that seed, and I'm really, really grateful that she did, because it made it less alien, it made it less scary, and it made it less weird for me to take that jump, take that plunge, and try and reintroduce animal products back into my diet. And she also made me realize that it might not be for everyone, and maybe that is the cause of a lot of my pain. So I will forever be grateful for that conversation with Tish, because it was so monumental in shifting the way that I think. I was the kind of person that thought that no, animal products are like the devil. You don't go near them. They can't do anything for you. But when it got to a point where my health was really being compromised, I was so fortunate to have had that conversation with Tish, who was already reintroducing animal products into her diet and was already feeling a lot better. So I had someone that I could directly relate to, and it was also someone that I trusted and respected, and I know is someone that respected and cared for me as well. So I was really, really fortunate in that situation. But that is why I wanted to make this video, because I'm sure many people will watch this and maybe be feeling the same, but also be feeling that they can't take that jump to reintroduce animal products, because we're literally conditioned to think that they are the worst thing in the world, but they're not. Everyone's body is different, and we all need different things, and changing your diet is not the end of the world. It's not something bad, especially when your health is at risk. So after that whole worst period of my life, I went to sleep that evening, and the next day I started to reintroduce ghee into my diet, which is called ghee in English. It's basically clarified butter, and it is amazing. The health properties of ghee are actually insane, and I am so disappointed in myself that I didn't eat it for so many years, because I thought vegan was the best thing for me. I reintroduced it, and literally within a week I noticed a massive difference. The first thing that I noticed was that my energy levels were back up. I didn't need to sleep for like 10 to 12 hours and feel that exhausted. I felt like I was getting a bit of my energy back. Within about 2 months, my brain fog and my memory was better. I could retain information. I could remember what I had for lunch the day before. And here I am 7 months later, after introducing some animal products back into my diet, and I can confidently say that I feel a lot more like myself. I am less irritable, less moody, less stressed, less demotivated. My God, I was just constantly demotivated. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sleep. But I really do feel like I'm back to myself, and it just was those little changes that I need to make in my diet, because I was clearly deficient in a lot of things that I could not get from a plant-based diet. I'm more productive, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I'm just grateful that I got to go through that experience and figure out what works for me before something serious happened to my health. Bio-individuality is super, super important, and I will be filming a separate video on that. But everyone's body is different, essentially, as I said before, and we really need to honor that. Vegan was not for me. It did not work for me. My health was massively compromised, and I had to do what I had to do for myself and for my sanity, and I am honestly so much happier. My mental health is flourishing, my physical health is flourishing, and I just feel like I've got myself back. For anyone that is thinking about maybe reintroducing some animal products back into your diet after being vegan for however long, I would say don't let other people shame you for wanting to do that. The vegan community can be very toxic in this way, and they can really make you feel like you're a bad person for wanting to reintroduce animal products back into your diet. But I am here to say that the way that you feel is completely valid, and if you feel that you need to reintroduce something back into your diet, please do it. Seek medical advice. Keep your doctor in the loop with what you're doing. Get your bloods checked and do it properly. Look after your body and do what's right for you, not what's right for anyone else. Ultimately, I never went vegan for the animals. I did it for my health. And that's why I think for me personally, it was easier to reintroduce some animal products back into my diet, because as soon as I felt unhealthy, I could kind of make the connection with the help of some really good friends and a really solid support system. So now let's talk about the vegan community. This is really out of my comfort zone because I just know that there might be a really bad reaction to this, and I hate reading horrible comments. So this is a big risk for me, but I just wanted to analyze some comments that were posted on the Instagram post that I initially put out when I first officially transitioned to not being a vegan anymore, and I put it on Instagram, and I just got an influx of comments from loads of vegans and vegan activists saying that I am wrong, essentially. So I just wanted to analyze them, break them down, and hopefully help some of you guys understand why it can be such a toxic space to be in. So soon after I decided to reintroduce animal products back into my diet, I posted it on Instagram because, you know, transparency, honesty, and all of that. And that is where I'm going to be reading the comments from and kind of dissecting what happened to me and the whirlwind of emotions that I went through. I've got my laptop just here, and I'm going to be reading some screenshots and some little notes that I put together as well, because I just wanted to write down my feelings and get them out, just to help me locate what the hell I was feeling and what was going on. So yeah, I'm just going to be reading from my laptop, so don't mind my eyes just being here sometimes. So the first comment that I saw said, "Look past animal cruelty. Do you realize how ridiculous and selfish you sound?" Massive thank you to everyone who replied on this before I even had a chance, because your responses were fire. Especially Naz, you said you are triggered because you don't actually understand the experience of people of color around the world and how they are treated worse than animals. Mic drop. That was so good. Thank you so much. So to me, this comment really felt like it came from a place of massive white privilege. Firstly, this person didn't bother to understand where I was coming from, what I had been through, what I was going through, and what kind of pushed me towards making this change. I literally explained in that Instagram post how being vegan was making me physically sick, but that was completely brushed to the side because the animals are way more important than my health. Again, sorry if you guys can hear the wind and the rain. It's really wild outside today. It was like sunny 10 minutes ago and now it's like torrential rain. Hashtag London. This person then went on to write another comment saying, "You can get all the nutrients you need on a plant-based diet. You don't need to replace milk with the processed milk either. That's just a luxury in my opinion if I fancy the taste of it. Buffalo milk? Question mark. Really? If you're lacking in any vitamin or mineral, you can find it in a plant-based source." My G. Okay, coming from someone who has actually studied nutrition, that is a complete lie. As I said before, vegan might work for some people, and if you happen to be one of those people, carry on, keep doing you. But every single person is different and requires different things depending on so many different factors, like our genetics, like our environment, like our stress, like our mental health, like how much exercise we do or don't do, etc, etc. If you speak to any nutritionist or dietitian whilst you're on a vegan diet and you're feeling lethargic, they are going to encourage you to supplement. And if the supplements don't work, if you're taking vitamins or something like that, they're going to encourage you to try and putting some more animal products back into your diet, because guess what? Some of the vitamins and minerals that you lot claim that you can get from just plants, it doesn't exist. And it is really, really important to have proper health care in these situations, because your health could be at risk. As a Punjabi woman, my body was completely crashing on a vegan diet. No one in my family has ever been vegan. No one in my lineage has ever been vegan. Dairy plays a huge role in a typical Punjabi diet, and I ignored all of that ancient knowledge because I thought that being vegan was the correct thing to do. But here I am, 2.5 years later. I was depleted, I was sick, I was upset, and now I've reintroduced it back and I feel fantastic. Next, we had a pretty special appearance from a well-known vegan activist, and I think this is the first time I've ever had someone with a blue tick all up in my comments. Lucky me. So James Aspey had a lot to say about my post. As you can see, he wrote a pretty lengthy comment, and you can pause the video to read it if you wish. But this really did not sit well with me, and I had to think over it for a while to really put into words how it made me feel and why. James Aspey came into my space and tried to make me feel selfish because I put my health first and I was dealing with it in a way that suited me. Throughout this comment, he went on to impose his moral way of living onto me. And he completely discounted my experience by saying, your body isn't suffering from the lack of rotten, tortured animals, implying that I don't need animal products to be healthy and that I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. The most pathetic part is when he tries to mansplain to me about periods. To be honest, regarding this whole long comment, does James Aspey have some kind of medical qualification which allows him to understand the root cause of someone's illness or health problem without even meeting them or having a conversation with them? Because if he does, he needs to get off the internet and go collect his Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, that was a little bit mean, but I just wanted to make this video a bit lighthearted. So the next question that I wanted to ask myself was, after being told how I was apparently feeling by a random man on Instagram, where does his behavior actually come from? So he replied to a comment and said, I'm not saying what she should be eating, I'm saying what she should not be eating. And then he said she should not be advocating that it's okay to do so regarding eating animal products. And this whole time, dude is literally just policing what I can and can't do. And this is where it gets quite interesting, because he goes on to say that animals need the right to freedom and bodily autonomy, the right to not be the property of someone else. But he fully has no capacity to see that I also deserve those rights. No one can come through to my space and try and tell me what to do or what I can and can't say to my community. I've done the work. I continue to do the work for the Punjabi Sikh community, and I am simply sharing what I believe is best for my people. I have my own morality, I have my own core values which come from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and no Dave or James is going to come onto my Instagram and try and violate any of that. And this is one of the biggest gripes that I have had with the vegan community from day dot. There is absolutely no consideration for white privilege and just how toxic it can be in those spaces. There is a massive bullying nature amongst the vegan community, and in every vegan event that I've gone to, it's just been a super racist space. There is so much talk about animals and how we all need to come together to save the animals and make them free, but there's never any consideration for the marginalized or oppressed people in those groups, because who cares about them as long as white people and their animals are free. Veganism comes with a massive privilege. It's the privilege to put the animals' lives in front of your life and your family's life, and vegans need to understand that not everyone has the capacity physically or mentally to do this, and that's okay. Some of us just be out here trying to survive another day. Our priorities are completely different, and trying to step to someone and force them to believe that the way that they're acting and the way that they live is completely incorrect is horrible, it's violent, and it's oppressive, and it is so evident in all of James's comments. So James ended his first essay comment thing with an Einstein quote. I don't know if it's an actual Einstein quote, but it says, "We must free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all of nature and all living beings." But where's his compassion? For him to step to me without having any understanding of me, what challenges I may go through on a daily, and for him to just simply tell me that I'm incorrect for living my life in a way that suits my health. I am selfish for making choices that make me a better person, that make me happier, and that make people around me happier. It's horrible, it's bullying, and it is really far away from compassionate. To finish this video off, I want to share a really lovely comment that was written by someone called Aquarian Amber, and they said, "Ignore the haters, white veganism is a plague. I myself gave up red meat and most dairy besides butter a few years ago to help with my digestive issues. But even if I go completely meatless, I will never be vegan. Cruelty free is a myth when your quinoa is harvested by black and brown people barely being paid, people over animals, until the way we produce food drastically changes." I absolutely love this comment because this person came through and courageously pointed the finger at the oppressive powers and systems and didn't put all of the accountability on my shoulders. I was so impressed by this comment, and the rest of the comments left by this person. If you check the post out on my Instagram at God Health, you'll be able to read it. Another thing that they said was, there is no such thing as ethical consumption or cruelty-free consumption under capitalism. And it fully sums up how I feel about all of this. So thank you so much to Aquarian Amber for putting those comments up. Thank you to everyone who had my back in that comment section. It got a little bit volatile and a little bit horrible, but thank you so much for having my back. I really, really do appreciate it. The entire Instagram post with all the comments and stuff is still up on my page, so feel free to go check it out if you want to see like the whole context. If you want to go see the tea, I don't even know if that's the right slang terminology, but I think it is. Something about tea is what the cool kids are saying. If you want to go see the post and see the full context, go check out at God Health on Instagram and you can see it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. God damn, this topic has exhausted me, but I've finally filmed it for you guys. If you've got any other video suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Please be respectful in the comments. Everyone lives their lives differently. Please don't try and drag me out on YouTube, because I will just block you. Bye.